Ciao everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how Serbia, specifically Belgrade, is the friendliest city in all of Europe. In other cities I've traveled in Europe, it's just people are not as warm or friendly, and given that I'm just generally a positive and happy person, I want to be able to live in a society that also has happy, positive, if not at least friendly people, and I found that here in Belgrade, Serbia. So let's get started. One of the interesting things about Serbia or Serbs is that people don't look friendly. But when I moved here, and everyone just looks so serious. I think the Balkans and Eastern Europe, and I guess most other cultures, you're not walking around smiling. Like smiling, if you're walking around smiling, people think you look insane. Like, why are you smiling? And I think some people misinterpret my smiles and giggles because I'm just genuinely happy, or I'm just still in this honeymoon phase, though I've been here for 2.5 years, of how great this city and the people are. So when I see Serbs sometimes, and I'm like, everyone is so serious, but when I actually talk to them, their face lights up and they do smile, but on surface, if you don't talk to them, if you're walking down the street, everyone is just very, very serious. So in my American mind, it's just like, why is everyone so serious? Are they mad at me? No, people are not mad. They're just in their own little world. And until you talk to them and you say something funny or you have a conversation, that's when you see friendliness. So if you're American and you come here, or at least come to this region of the world, people are friendly. They just don't look it because it's not common to walk around smiling all the time, like us Americans. Or like me, I just smile. I'm still so in love with the city. What's interesting about Serbs is their sense of humor. Every culture has their own sense of humor. Here in Serbia, I'm still getting accustomed to Serbs and their sense of humor because it's very dark. There is no political correctness. And when you translate, I guess, jokes from Serbian to English, it's just, for me, it just doesn't translate well. And I'm like, how can you say that? Like with some of my Serbian friends, I just am in awe every time they're joking. It's just like, why would you go so far to say that? They're like, we've been through hard times, so nothing is off limits. And I'm still growing accustomed to it. But I think if you have a dark sense of humor, it says a lot about a society or people's character that you can laugh at anything. You know, don't be so serious about life. Versus for Americans, especially these days, I won't go into the whole woke conversation because given that there's a lot of racism in the US, it does make sense to have boundaries when you're making fun of people or certain events or certain cultures. Versus here, there's no racism here. People, especially in the 90s, went through a really difficult time with the NATO bombings, and I've heard people are like, we were dancing when they were bombing our city. We're not going to let them take away, who we are as a people. So people really joke about a lot of dark stuff here. And even after 2.5 years, I am still getting used to it. The reason why Serbia is a friendly city, because as a woman, I can navigate the society. I've talked about this in my last videos, how it's safe to walk around at night, how I don't feel scared to approach a stranger if I need help. The police are everywhere and they're very friendly, but don't mess with the police. And it's easy to talk to people. When I look at news in the US, it's some woman is always has some type of tragic event, or women just warning each other, like, if you see this man who's known for harassing women, like, spread the word. Here in Serbia, I feel completely safe. And it's good to live in a society where men, women, children feel safe to walk early in the morning, late at night. People go to each other if they need help. To get to know your grocer, to get to know the baker. I just love going grocery shopping and seeing the cashiers because they know me. I love going to my bakery. And honestly, this is my favorite store. So there's this bakery I go to. I made a video about it. And they know me as the Pita Jabuka girl from afar. Until they see me, they're just very serious women just organizing the pastries and talking to customers. But once my bakery ladies see me, their face lights up and they smile and they're like, ah, pita jabuka. And I absolutely love that. So it's just so nice to be in a society where you can really get to know people and people are genuinely happy to see you and smile at you. And I just feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. And it's just wonderful to be a woman here and feel so safe. Prior to living in Belgrade, I've bounced around the world over the last 10 years, from Israel to China to Thailand, which spent some time in Singapore and New Zealand and South Korea. I would have to say, specifically my experience in Europe, it takes years to really call someone your friend because people are friends from childhood. They're friends from university. I don't know about the workspace, but it does take a very, very long time to call someone a friend. I have one friend, he's German, we met in university. Actually, we met at this party. We have a very similar sense of humor, but we do talk like once or twice a year. And I remember when I visited him in Germany, and he was just kind of, his aura was different versus the States. He was much more relaxed and laid back. I don't know, when I go to Germany, it was just like, everyone is just, again, Germans don't look friendly, but on the outside. But when you do talk to them, they are distantly polite. And I heard the most unfriendly country in Europe is Austria. Interestingly, has a very big Serbian community in Vienna. And some Serbs, like the Serbs in Vienna, are very different from the Serbs here in Belgrade. I've never been to Austria, but I don't think I could live in a country that, by statistics or what others say, is literally the most unfriendly society. I don't know. You tell me if you've been to Austria or if you're a Serb living in Austria. Is it true? Like, is it a really unfriendly society? Let me know. I've had to, I guess, deconstruct that fake American friendliness, despite me being genuinely a friendly and positive and optimistic person. So why is it important to live in a society with friendly people? A, because we're human beings and we're social creatures. And as an expat or foreigner or immigrant, you're really vulnerable. You're living in a country that is technically not your own. It will take years to build relationships. Anything can go wrong. And when it comes to immigrating or expatriating to a country, short-term or long-term, you want to be able to feel comfortable, feel safe, have friendships or acquaintances, co-workers, people that you can lean on. And for me, since I'm single, legally and religiously, I don't have children and my family is like 5,000 miles away, it's really important for me to have friends, to have community, and to be in a space where I feel safe. And that is what Serbia is for me. It's really like my second home. And people here are just absolutely wonderful, friendly, their dark sense of humor. And I don't want to live in a society where if I fall on the streets and people just walk by because they're so focused on getting to work. There are some cities like that, specifically New York. I tell people that New York is painted as this, yes, it's a global capital of the world. It has these buildings, it has Broadway, it has Times Square. But if you ever get into some type of trouble in New York, people are not going to help you. People are just way too busy and focused to get to and from work and about their lives. And here, it's a more collective society. It's wonderful to live in a friendly and collective society like Serbia. So share your experiences. If you live in Belgrade, if you're Serbia abroad, if you're Serbian and you live in Vienna or Chicago or Toronto or any other country, do you think that Serbia is friendly? If you're interested in traveling to Serbia and you're curious what it's like, it's actually snowing right now. Definitely feel free to visit my website, and happy holidays. Tomorrow is Hanukkah and Christmas. I do celebrate Hanukkah, so I'm going to some cool Hanukkah parties, and I really look forward to celebrate with my community, with my friends, people who have welcomed me to their homes, and it's just going to be a beautiful next couple of days, a lot of parties and festivities. All right, bye!